people freak out about prepared lunch meats because of the nitrates. Nitrates are interestingly the primary constituent in vegetables, which are vasorelactive. You know, it's the same deal in you know, like Viagra and stuff like that. So as a grab and go, you know, is this ideal? Is this optimal? No. But we don't want perfection to be antagonistic to good enough. And if I've got a choice between, say, like grabbing some lunch meat and maybe a little bit of cheese, even for the paleo guy, and like an apple, I think that is going to be phenomenal as a snack. It's going to taste good. It's going to be satisfying. And we can track blood work on folks, and they're going to be quite healthy from that. If they are very reactive to sodium, then they might track down a low sodium version of this stuff because it is pretty high in salt. But that would really be my main concern with this. We've put the whole notion of nitrites being problematic for health. We've largely put that to bed, and so my main concern with these things is the salt content. But you know, a lot of folks say maybe they were more vegetarian. They're used to eating a ton of carbs, particularly for breakfast. Bacon has been our gateway drug. It's been the carrot that we dangle out there. And they'll have some bacon and some eggs, and they feel pretty good off that. They have good balanced energy off of a bacon and egg breakfast, and it's just tasty enough that they feel like they're getting a little bit of a treat, so they can kind of stick with the program. I've spent 20 to 30 weeks a year on the road the last couple of years, and if I couldn't use some stuff like this, I would have just been out of luck. Like it, you know, there would have been nothing for me to eat. So,
but high protein, also high fat. But I think fat's gotten a bad rap.
Right.
And so it's not necessarily that these have a little more fat in them than other products. And fat isn't necessarily bad.
Right. And again, on that palatability, satisfaction kind of standpoint, can people overdo it? Yeah. You know, I've again had clients that could sit down and eat like the full value pack of bacon. But those folks, I mean, what the hell are you going to do with them at the end of the day? You know, I mean, you do the best you can, but you know, for most people, you have like a good Italian salami or something. You might cut a couple of those, have a little cheese with it, or put them between like apple slices, and that's going to be a really satisfying, good snack, and they're going to feel good from that. And again, we'll be able to track blood work, and these people are going to be fine. They're going to be better than what they were before. You know, the insulin resistance reverses, systemic inflammation improves. So this isn't just kind of pie in the sky stuff. Like you know, the actual clinical laboratory results support all this stuff. So yeah. We also have some prepared meats, which they put sauces on them. This one actually is soy and gluten free, which is kind of cool. But I have a feeling for one serving, which there's 5 servings in this, you're going to have 13 grams of carbs. So if you ate the whole rack, which I'm kind of I could easily do that, then we're talking 50, almost 80 grams of carbs from this whole rack. So you would look at it and say, okay, it's high protein, it's ribs, but then when we start throwing sauce on it, we can really change the nutritional content.
How much sugar is in that? I understand some of these sauces have a tremendous amount of...
I'm sure all the carbs are sugar.
They are. 13 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
That's a lot of sugar.
So 1 teaspoon of sugar is 4 grams. So we're talking about almost 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty high. And I'm sure that there's a lot of sodium. So generally prepared sauces, they have a lot of sodium and sugar in them, just to make you want to eat more, don't you?
Yeah, and they definitely taste good, but they are problematic for sure. Chicken, I mean, everybody is probably pretty familiar with this stuff, but again, we're seeing more and more kind of pre-prepared foods, and typically very high salt, very high sugar. Part of that is it improves shelf life. So if you put some sugar and salt in there, these things last longer.
That's right.
And so there is some cryptic, not just trying to make everybody fat. That it actually improves the shelf life, makes it safer. But you can get your daily allotment of sodium and sugar in one exposure to that.
So there are 3 servings in this container, and it's important to look at serving size when we look at these containers, because somebody could sit down and actually eat this whole thing, and they're getting 3 servings. And so if you have 1 serving, it is 30 grams of carbohydrates. So that would be somebody on a low carbohydrate that was insulin resistant. That'd be about probably
Almost
about
a
half,
day's,
yeah, a day's allocation. And then it has 9 grams of sugar and which is very high. And so in salt, has pretty high in salt too. 810 milligrams of salt,
per
which
serving.
is,
and again, like you
which
said,
is about
a lot
half.
of people would do. So there's 3 servings in there theoretically. I think most people would at least do half, if not all of that.
I think they would. They stick it in their microwave and eat the whole thing.
Right.
Oh, that would be me.
Right. Yeah, I could easily do that. So heading into the meat, I mean, this is kind of the backbone of what we're encouraging people to eat. Interestingly, people, again, it's kind of counterintuitive because we've been told low carb or low fat, animal protein is bad, but we're definitely not of that opinion. So, and again, we've got blood work to kind of support and back all that. Some frozen fish. This stuff is all pretty good, except when you get into the breaded things. Obviously, increased carb content, and for me, being the paleo guy, like the gluten content is kind of problematic. Fresh seafood, totally healthy, phenomenal food. I mean, I don't even know what more to say about that. It's some of the most nutrient-dense food that we can eat.
What a wonderful choice of foods we have in America. And great.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Yeah, even some of the backwater areas, you have phenomenal options.